Listen, brother.
Go ahead.
You said you want to have conversation. Is it cool if Perez here, yeah?
Nah, I'd prefer with you.
You just want me?
Yeah.
You okay with that, Perez? Or you want to be here? Your choice.
If he has to be here for some parts, it's fine.
You,
At least
sir.
for like the initial thing, I think it should be you.
Up to you, Ray.
Sure, I can talk with you deal one-on-one, but I do want Perez there for the after talk, all right?
Sure. That's fine.
Listen, a lot of shit was talked about back at the block. I'm sure you're aware.
Sure.
The conversation about the way things operate, about people's respect, shit like that, and about the concerns that you made among various other people as well, right? I think the
Sure.
points, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the points you made are that people in the gang should be resolving issues in the moment if they have any.
Well, I think more so the best way I would phrase it is this. Like, I'm not a mind reader. I can't tell if somebody's offended or upset if they don't say anything. Especially if they put on like a fake demeanor and act like they're not offended.
Yeah, I get
Like
what,
me and
I get your
Marlo had a
point.
long conversation about it. Because like the incident you're even referring to with Wolfie was, and why I got so heated about it was like, this is something that happened like before our last meeting or right after our last meeting. I don't remember which. So it's been quite a bit of time, man.
Right.
So like what pissed me off about it is like, how is this shit coming up this long after when to my face acted like there was no problem whatsoever? That's what pissed me off about it.
I mean,
And I got heated and I took it out on you. And that's why I was willing to apologize, because you shouldn't have gotten that backlash. That was just me being heated as fuck.
sure, and I appreciate you doing that. Listen, I guess the part that people kept bringing up is that they genuinely feel, and this is, no one necessarily hates you, dude. I want to confirm this with you, by the way. They genuinely feel that you just kind of try to piss people off in your own little way, like in the gang. You know, they feel like you like going about
So
things.
like you say people. Can I get names?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, obviously, Wolfie is one of the people who voiced their concerns, and I'm sure that if you have issues and you want to talk to him, you can, right? And I'm sure that's the best. What a lot of people also said, and this is Marlo and Lance, shit like that, is that your points are valid, just the way you went about it was a bit flawed. But everyone, there's also
which
other people.
I can agree with that, to be fair. Like I can agree that how I go about things might not always be the best way that I go about things. I could agree with that. But and like they've already said, and like Marlo even has told me, and like I'm sure he's told you, is like that doesn't make the points any less valid. Like, yes, I go about them in the wrong way, and maybe I'm wrong for that, but the points are still valid themselves.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, it does make sense. I get what you're trying to say. Listen, Dale, I agree with some of the points you make. I'm going to make this very clear. I do agree that people should deal with issues in the moment. If there is
especially if they're in a command position, man. Like that's kind of like
if there's an
you kind
opportunity,
of have to
right?
be able to talk to people. You have to be able to like I'm not saying this situation specifically, but like I don't know. Let's say one patch member has issues with another patch member, and they're of the same rank, and they don't feel comfortable enough to have that conversation. Like they're gonna go to their superior, and if their superior is not able to even handle a confrontation, like how are they gonna be able to help? You know what I mean?
I mean, I get the point you're trying to make, but let me finish this point up, right? So
Go ahead.
I agree that people should be able to deal with things in the moment and confront, and when there's the opportunity to. That's a very key word too, right? Sometimes you're in the middle of some shit and you can't talk. I get that. Sure. People are rubbed the wrong way. Nobody's gonna fucking love each other. Not every single person in the gang is gonna love each other, right? That's what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely.
That's not what I expect. What I expect is that people are able to put apart their differences, because we have so many other issues that we have to deal with, right? They're able to come together and realize that we're one gang and there's not multiple little cliques that need to be
let's not act like there isn't, though.
I mean, of course there isn't.
Like even Marlo and I have had this conversation. Like pretending there isn't cliques in our group is like saying the sky is fucking green, man.
Well, I have a question for you, Dio. I mean, you agree that there are cliques. Do you think that you push people away that aren't in the same clique as you in the group?
I'm sure I've made people feel that way, but I'm sure you can at least agree to this. Every single time that me and my Mac, anybody else are rolling around, we pull up to the block and say, hey, anybody want to hop in? Anybody want to go? Anybody want to do some shit?
I mean, I do see that for the most part.
No, like, and I'm willing to admit, yeah, I have the circle of people I've with and I like doing shit with, but not only do I try to involve other people when the opportunities arise, I'm also one of the people that sit there and in these meetings will fight for other people to go on jobs because other people should be involved.
No, I get that. You do. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You definitely do that, right? So, I don't know. I guess the impression people want there to be a resolution to this. Obviously, there are people that are genuinely mad, and I'm sure you could imagine. And I don't want you to sit there and bring hostility out to them, right? But there are people that think that we can resolve at least the issues that were brought up today about people being fucking fucked with and people not taking the right way because they don't think they're a part of the clique or some shit like that. You know what I mean? You know exactly. You know exactly what I'm fucking referring to, right? It's not some secret.
But what I'm trying to say is, how is it on me that somebody gets offended in the moment and doesn't talk to me about it, and then brings it up 2 weeks later? Like,
well, that's what I'm confused about. Not that. Apparently, there's been issues over the last week that people just
like what?
Apparently, like small things that have happened, and I tried to isolate and find those things, but people don't want to fucking talk about it.
Yeah, but like, why are they not just speaking?
See, Dio makes a good point here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean
that in and of itself is a problem.
That's why I want Perez here, because he knows a little bit more about that, right?
Right, but Perez shouldn't need to be here. Like, these problems should be brought up and addressed. Like,
well, Perez was the one who was around this last week, right? He's the acting leader of the gang. I mean, obviously, I come back and I'm uninformed. I mean,
bro, I was barely even around this week.
Okay. All right. Are you cool with Perez coming over here and having a chat?
Sure.
Yo, Perez,
I mean, is there any more that we need to talk about?
I mean, Dio, I'll be straightforward with you, brother. I do think that, I don't know what your opinion about this is, but I do think that things can be resolved. And I do think that we can push forward through things, even as much as we all fuck with each other, shit like that, like, and piss each other off or whatever it is. I do think that you do fit in well. And things are.
I mean, I think there's problems. Like, but I'm like, at the end of the day, Raymond, I'm never gonna be a guy that's not gonna sit here and call shit out.
Right. I wasn't.
I'm never gonna be a yes man. I'd hate to break that to you, man.
No, that's what I'm saying. But I do agree.
Like, I'm gonna get heated in the moment. I'm gonna raise my voice. Like today, I raised my voice at you. That's not gonna be the last time it happens, man. That's who I am as a person.
I know. I think it's the way you went about it. You hung up the phone, didn't allow me to respond, shit like that, right? This is the thing.
I was heated, man.
I know you're heated, but I was mad too about the shit I heard.
I get heated, and I need to go blow off my fucking steam.
I thought you just told me like you like talking about shit in the moment, though.
I mean, I do, but like in this situation, I was pissed off. I wanted to go blow off some steam and then talk in 30 minutes.
You can imagine how I'm feeling after that, though, right? I'm sitting there thinking, this mother just disrespected me.
Also, there's a very big difference between wanting to talk 30 minutes after a situation happens and waiting 3 weeks and then talking to my dad Ray about it.
Sure.
Very big difference.
I mean, they're both.
Let's not play semantics.
They're both their own issues. They are. The last time someone hung up on me on a phone call, I killed them.
Well, here we are, Raymond. Throw me over.
I mean, that's why I told you earlier that I think we can work through these issues.
Sure, I think we can do, but by all means, throw me over. Like, look, at the end of the day, Ray, like, I joined this gang because I fuck with you and I believe in you as a person, right? But there's absolutely, from being in this gang for the last few months, there's problems and there's things that I don't agree with. And I think some of the people that are in their roles don't do a good job. And I'm never going to sit here and deny that. Sure. Every single time I've had problems with this gang, I don't bother them with you because you already have to deal with people's shit. I go to Marlo about it, and I pray that Marlo brings up my points to the rest of you guys.
Sure. I mean, if we're going forward, we're trying to resolve these things, and you have an issue with someone, I think it's best that we just talk about it directly with people, right? I mean, hey, I do want Perez to be here.
But at the end of the day, like, if I have an issue with command, I'm gonna bring it up to a command member.
Isn't that the exact issue you had with Wolfie?
I had issues with how this gang runs. I wasn't personally offended by somebody. My feelings didn't get hurt in the moment. I had a problem with how this gang operates.
I mean, you're dismissing Wolfie's perspective on that, though. It's not that his feelings got hurt; it's that he just feels.
I'm never gonna agree with Wolfie's perspective.
Okay. I mean,
I'm just telling you how it is. I think people that are fake, I don't for them. Like, I think if I say something to you and you laugh it off and say, haha, that's funny, Dio. And then 5 minutes later, you go around and you're like, yeah, that motherfucker pissed me off. He disrespected me. He's a piece of shit. I don't that, man. And I never will. That's fake.
And if you think that people do come forward and have a conversation, you think that's
great. It's never happened. I'd love to have it happen. I'd love for somebody to walk up to me and have a conversation. That'd be fantastic.
I do with you all the time.
I know, which is why I joined this gang for you, man. You're my boy. I'm with you.
Yeah.
There's very few people in this gang that actually have the balls to just walk up and talk to somebody. Too many people are afraid to have conversations.
All right. I mean, I know there's only a few minutes left for Tsunami, but guys, come over here.
Go ahead.
I mean, the general consensus that's been talked about, Dio, is that people are okay with talking about issues out in the moment, but things need to be a little bit different as a compromise. Like, people need to respect each other as well, and the people that we put into the positions of power. That's it. Like, if you genuinely do respect me.
Do you know the actual full story behind that incident, by the way?
Apparently, what you told me, you said you were talking to Kiwi or something.
What about you, Perez? Do you know that full story?
What situation?
The whole Wolfie thing that this all started from 2 weeks ago.
What, 2 weeks ago?
Like a week and a half ago.
Recently.
Whatever.
And then he said some things, and then you said some things, and then it just kind of spiraled from there.
You guys don't even know the full story? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I do know the story. You told me it.
I was literally with Mac and Kiwi, found in my underwear at the house, making janitor jokes to them. And then Wolfie walked in, so I tried to with him. He said, "Suck my dick." And then I kept with him. He laughed it off. I walked away. Kiwi called me after. He said, "Yeah, he wasn't angry. He left." I said, "Okay."
Dio, listen, you talked about wanting to confront people and deal with issues in the moment, and
Sure.
the resolution at hand that I suggest, and I expect, honestly, at this point, right, if you accept and shit like that, want to go forward, is that you give people the ample opportunity to have that conversation with you and just don't blow people off, right? And I think that's for everyone involved. I think that if you want to talk to someone else, like a higher up about it, whatever, like you mentioned to me in private, by all means you can do that as long as you inform the other party. Be like, yo, listen, I don't think this, I think this is higher than us or some shit like that, right?
Sure.
If you're good to agree with that, we can actually resolve issues before they become fucking crazy,
Yeah, I mean, I've never been opposed to that. I
don't
don't understand how that's something that needs to be discussed.
I mean, it's just something that needs to be discussed. That's the
but it
bottom line,
shouldn't.
right? Well, it is. Well, it is. That's the problem with honestly, with a lot of gangs, there's a lot of groups. There's always thermal drama, a lot of issues in between, a lot of misunderstandings when you have, I don't know, what, 12 active people around all the time? If even at this point, I don't know.
I mean, when I felt like the ball was in my court with problems, I reached out to people. It's how you do things, no?
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but let's see how things can go forward. I mean, hey, as long as you agree to being able to do that, and you
never
think that
not been open to it.
I think, genuinely speaking, you should have a conversation with certain people too. That you
That's
think.
on them to reach out to if they had a problem with me. I'll give you an example of what I mean.
Sure.
I had a problem with a situation that happened, and with how somebody handled something, right? I followed what they said because they were above me, and I believe that's the correct thing to do. So I followed out what they said, and I listened to what they said in the moment. I followed the order. And then after the situation was over, I followed up with them and said, "Hey, I want to talk about this because I disagree with you." And I aired out my problems with them and resolved them. Because the ball was in my court to do that. Why somebody else, isn't doing that is crazy.
I mean, when it comes to someone else that is on the same rank as you, I do see it okay if
I could
people...
see it a little bit more. Yeah, I could see it more if they're on the same level. I could see it more, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and act like, absolutely. I can see it a little bit more if they're on the same rank as me. But, like even then, like I said, I think it's, like, one, sure, maybe in the moment they're pissed off or whatever, fine. But, like, if they don't feel comfortable talking to me, why don't they just go to a random command member and say, "Hey, could you mediate a conversation?"
Yeah, that's what we're saying, no? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, but it's taken like this long. I don't understand like how this is coming up 2 weeks later. I don't understand
there's
why I
other
wasn't approached
things
beforehand.
that have like attached to it between you and McGregor and whatnot.
I
and
think
now
you
it's
need
a
to separate
conversation.
myself and McGregor.
I do agree with that too.
Like
But
everything that
something
Mac
generally
says,
speaking
I'm
is
not awake for. Like Mac is around like triple the time as me, man. I'm not around all that much, especially lately.
Like, so there's been like issues you've had with people, or people have had issues with you. And say, for example, Alex has brought and talk to you and had conversations with you when you do butt heads, right?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's who I was referring to, by the way.
Yeah. There is a lot of, for me personally, I haven't seen many issues or any issues before I wake up. And then when I do wake up, people mention things, but you guys handled it, right? Before I wake up. Which is fine, right? Obviously there's these most recent conversations, you know, where people like feel a certain way and couldn't.
Can you give the specifics?
Well, I mean, it would probably be the Wolfie situation, right? The janitor comment.
The one incident from like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So like, what else? That's what I'm asking.
The conversation about during the meeting, we said, this is Raymond's command, respect it, respect them. If you are disrespecting them, you're essentially disrespecting Raymond. Which then the Wolfie conversation happened, the Wolfie interaction happened after the meeting, correct?
It was either after, I think it was after that meeting, but before another. But I'm not 100% sure because we had 2 meetings back to back. I want to say it was after the first one, but before the second. I'm not 100%.
Because I don't think, actually, no, we had the initial meeting talking about it, and then we brought it up again, and I don't think you were there for the second meeting.
That's what I'm saying. So one of the things, like, this got brought up to me as well, because I wasn't there at one of the meetings, and it got brought up to me that something, that the shit that I did got brought up there, and I said, that's weird. And then nobody approached me about it for like a week and a half, until today. Like, surely you can understand, and I mean, Raymond's already said this, surely you can understand it from my perspective, though, too, right? Like, if I'm in the moment doing something, and somebody acts like they have no problems with it, and then 2 weeks later, I'm finding out it was a huge problem, like, that's the thing I'm confused about.
I do see it to an extent. Like, this entire, like, conversation today, I've seen it to an extent, right? Mm-hmm. But it does go back to why did it come up again after it was made clear to not have it happen in the first place?
Well, first of all, I mean, Wolfie and Cam aren't your command. Second of all, that day...
That is something we need to actually have a conversation about. I feel like that's so confusing for people.
I agree. I mean, you guys, I feel like you guys also don't understand this. I don't care who you guys put in these roles. One, if I don't feel like they're doing a good job, I'm going to express those concerns. If I feel like the gang is failing because of that. Second of all, it's more so that you guys presented this role in that initial meeting like it was going to be a command role, a big role, like a very serious thing. And then you guys basically admitted almost anybody could do it. It's just back in the work and it's no real leadership position. And like, I understand from your perspective, maybe it doesn't feel like that, but even Marlo in that meeting, I'm sure you guys remember, he even agreed, like, yeah, anybody could do this. Like the way, I'm not necessarily saying that the people that got put in are, one of them was the person I wanted. I love Kim. I respect the fuck out of the guy. You know, like, genuinely. I'm saying that people aren't the problem. It's the way that what you guys want about that. It's the way is you guys' command and the way that the role was presented was the problem.
Okay, so
I think altogether,
I want to bring back a little bit segment of that, right? So during that meeting, I did propose it as being a command position. I don't know why Marlo went and said, "Oh, I think anyone can do this."
You can see how that's confusing from a member perspective, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you can also, we talk about how we voted on that. We voted on that. No, we voted on the people for 2 roles. We didn't vote on the role itself, which in that meeting you even said, yeah, maybe we should have just voted on this role. Like, the whole situation was fucking cooked, man.
I'm not gonna lie, in the future when it comes to appointing command members and above, I don't even think it should be a vote. I think it should be people present I trust.
Would be better than whatever the fuck that happened.
My opinion about it going forward is that I think if you vote on people that are above you, you have a little bit less respect at the very start. I think if they're instilled into that position and then they prove themselves to be untrustworthy, that's where it's a little bit better.
To me, it's not even about voting them in. It's the way that you guys did that role in general.
I mean, hey, we'll revisit in the meeting.
No, I agree, but I want to make sure that's very clear. It's not about who is in those roles. It's about how the role was handled.
Yeah, we before it all happened, we kind of agreed that Raymond and I thought maybe we should just, you know, appoint people, and then we thought, you know, if we wanted to make people, allow people to have a vote, let's see how it goes, and then that kind of proved our point, right? and now we know.
Sure, but like even though like even we're sitting here saying, oh, it's you guys are the consensus you're having is the voting people in is the problem. I think it's the way that you guys presented the role itself at the meeting is what I'm trying to convey to you as a member. That was the biggest problem I had with it, and I think even other people had the same takeaway after the meeting.
I'm aware. That meeting was confusing, but nonetheless,
agreed.
I think the general consensus that I said afterwards is that just respect the people that are put in the positions, and certain people just didn't. So that's the issue that I had, and I get it. There's jokes and shit like that, and people want to do stuff
Absolutely.
like that. But that's the concern I have.
Well,
so if we can cut that out going forward, and we can actually resolve things, I think that's where results.
Well, at the end of the day, Kim literally calls himself the janitor. I'm gonna f with Kim all day. And if somebody overhears that and gets offended and their feelings get hurt, then that's on them, man.
You can f Kim for that. I don't know. I'll be honest. Kim's just a fun, but it's a little bit different for everyone.
Like I said, even this specific situation, I literally walked in as I was already making jokes. But by the way, that day that we're specifically talking about, that was the day that Kim took my pants. By the way, so I was just around because of that.
Let's figure things out. We'll talk to the gang tomorrow. I know you're not going to be at the meeting, but I'll echo this concern to other people too, because it's not just you, Dio. I don't feel like you're being singled out, because like we said before, Mac also.
I don't give a fuck if I am being singled out. I don't really care, man. I'm just going to speak my mind on shit. I'm never going to change that.
Everyone makes mistakes all the time. It happens. It is what it is. Just want to resolve things before they become a bigger issue. It seems like, I'll be honest, Dio, it seems like an animosity was building up from the gang, and I'm trying to squash that so I don't go to sleep and wake up the next night and the gang is trying to kill each other.
Right. And I'm trying to provide some of the context to where my problems are for moving forward.
Right.
Would you not like that context?
No, I did.
Look, if you got to go to bed, I'll give it to Perez.
No,
I don't care.
I think I heard what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I feel like sometimes I feel like we care way too much about how our actions could be perceived rather than actually standing on business when we need to stand on business, and that's a concern of mine as well.
You're gonna definitely need to help more opinions about that later. We can discuss that. It's a different issue, I think.
Sure. I mean, but you used to are the leadership, no? So I'm bringing it up to the leadership. That's a entire gang situation. It's not a personal problem I have with somebody.
When you say stand on business, you mean when people get shot or whatever that you want people to go and defend the HMC, right?
I think in general, yes.
I mean, I agree with that. I think people waiting for command or something.
Wasn't that sorted there? It has been sorted recently, no?
The issue with Lance was sorted, yeah.
Between the Besties situation and the Hades situation, that has been sorted over the past week or two.
Like moving forward, we at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say here is, if somebody shoots at one of our people, I'm not gonna sit around and wait for Raymond's permission to go do something. If one of our own gets their blood spilled, I would expect anybody in this gang to go do something. No, that's how a gang operates. And why my concern is about standing on business is sometimes with how we handle things, it feels like we're a group of friends, not an actual fucking gang.
I get that. I mean, there's always going to be a mix of the lines because the clicks and shit you talked about earlier. I mean, listen, respectfully speaking, I'd like to be able to stand on business all the time. I get people trying to wait for me and make sure that our resources are up before war started. Respectfully, I'll be real. A lot of the groups in this fucking city, Dio, as soon as you go try to clap back, it's war. And they want that fucking shit to be pushed to your block, you know?
But a wise man once said, and I truly believe it with all my heart, it's not about if you fucking win the fight. It's about the fact you actually showed up. And if we're just not even going to show up, we're the biggest pussies in the town, and we might as well not be a gang. And I'm speaking freely because I feel like I can. And by all means, if you guys feel disrespected, I apologize. But I'm always going to be somebody that speaks freely instead of hiding how I feel and hiding how I fucking speak.
I get it. Dio, I mean, would you not agree that logistics is probably the most important part of war, right?
I think if we're a gang that backs our people and we fuck with our people, I don't give a fuck about the logistics. I care about my boys having they're not having their blood spilled, man.
Fair enough.
That's how I operate.
I suppose. I mean, the shit started with the Manor, right? And no one even fucking was around to help out with things. That was rough. The shit happened.
It was rough. But even though that was a rough war, it's way better to actually try the actual fight instead of just sitting on our fucking ass and saying, no, they're too big. They're too bad.
I mean, do you really think anyone's done that? Do you think what Lance did was bad reaction? Or do you think it was more like...
not necessarily in Lance's case. I'm just saying in general, I think like my concern is more so like the, the problem is I guess to an extent some of it could be secondhand information, but like if a gang kidnaps one of our people, are we not gonna go kidnap their people back? Are we not gonna go foot them the same way they foot us?
Yeah, I get that.
Like sometimes I feel like rather than actually doing that, we just sit around and talk and talk and talk rather than just go fucking do what we should do.
Sure. I think you're referring to the Hydra situation, but that was at the same time that Manor was doing some
It's
shit too.
specific.
Yeah.
It's not. They're not mutually exclusive. There's been other situations.
Yeah, I get you, but
I mean, the
I
Hydra
mean,
situation,
realistically
Johnny
speaking-
did roll out to go find one of them hostage, but it's never good.
So what's the
Like
shame in taking
they
them
aren't doing the
day
things
after,
you are
right?
asking, right? No, they trust me, they did. They were looking for them a lot.
Well, did we ever kidnap one of them?
No, because they never
I
found
mean,
one.
the Manor war started literally the day after.
Oh, there's a couple of days beforehand.
Oh. Anyway, gentlemen, I think this conversation is over. I'm gonna have a conversation with people tomorrow, try to resolve things, see if people are willing to work on things, and have a conversation about shit in the moment. And if it seems like that was not resolving anything down the line, we can talk about it in like a week or so. I think we should set up a meeting this week when we can all be around though. About everything. About the shit about
Think gang meeting.
positions. Yeah, big gang meeting. All right. Deal.
Oh, if you're going to
easy.
bed, Ray, have a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is all good here? You need me?
Nah, you're fine.
What's up?
You want to keep talking, Perez? Or you
Yeah. I just,
All right, gentlemen. You guys take it easy.
It's more so for me. The concern I'm bringing up in this isn't mutually exclusive to those situations.
Yeah.
It's more so like if any gang, like don't get me wrong. Do I think we get? Do you think? Do I think it would be a hard war to foot the besties? Absolutely, man. But like if they kidnap kid or they kidnap people, I expect we take the same energy back, right?
Well, I do agree. It's also to an extent because it's been non-stop on the back foot when it comes to resources and managing that and gang fund and everything.
I can understand that.
Like if we were in the position to do stuff, it would be such an easier call to do, right?
Sure. But like for me, and I can understand that perspective on it. But for me, I'm always going to value our people and our people's blood and our people's like getting taken and shit like that over over our logistics.
That's the thing. Like if
bro,
someone
I'll
gets
go out
taken,
and fucking roll out with a knife if I have to.
if someone gets taken hostage and then we like roll out at the bank or wherever the fuck, right? And it's dealt with in the situation, and then we just don't have to think about it, right? Like if shit's dealt with in the situation, like even the other day when McGregor rolled out to the block and everything, like I feel like that's completely fine. It's just when it's like sat on and whatnot, and then we just have to think about it. Then we think about our resources. It's just a whole different conversation.
Yeah, to me, I feel like, especially with the line of the people in command are there, you respect them, because if you don't, you're disrespecting, right?
Yeah.
I feel like in these situations, I would respect people more if they made decisions rather than didn't. I guess what I'm getting at too. This is, I guess, a little bit separate. I'm getting a little off topic now, but I'm calling back to that, I guess.
That I don't know. It's just the overall. The reason why this is like starting to be brought up is Ray and I have felt that the overall gang like terminology here, it just feels like a toxic environment to an extent when people overhear things, right? They're just chilling on the block and they overhear a comment which they don't know you're joking or whatnot, or if you mean it in a malicious intent towards whether it's a command member or a member in general. So for some people it's just like, oh shit, that kind of felt like toxic. I don't really want to be in this environment, right? I have talked to McGregor. He pulled me aside after I yelled at him in that meeting, and he was basically like, well, do you have an issue with me? And I'm like, no, I don't. It's just how you portray things, even though I've already told you you shouldn't portray it like that. So I'm talking about, you know, how he talks about high command in front of everyone, when maybe that should have just been like a conversation between, you know, maybe just Ray or I. And the thing is, as well, why we were talking about that with Ray today, he rolled into the block and was saying the dog shit gang comment, right? Specifically for Raymond in Rust days, that is a comment that Benz used to say. And, you know, Raymond was like feeling that Benz would never leave until he eventually left. And Ray felt very betrayed about it. When he does hear that today, that kind of triggers him. And, you know, Ray kind of feels like on some sort of energy with you, right? But it's just, yeah, the overall gang environment needs to essentially not be fucking Hades, because with Hades, it was Benji just rage baiting the entire time, creating internal conflict, never getting resolved, Ray just getting stressed until he just eventually crashes out and just blood people out. That same went for a lot of people in Hades as well that stopped waking up because it just was a toxic environment.
Yeah, but like, no offense for just a minute. If people walk into a conversation and get offended, just walk out.
I mean, that's the thing. They leave the block.
Okay, then that's fine. Resolved. I'm confused.
I'm just saying, like, sometimes the comments aren't needed,
Sure.
and whatnot, and it's just something as the gang, like, in total, just needs to work on, right?
But I feel like we care more about our feelings amongst members than we do about like actually getting blood back sometimes.
That's a different thing, though.
Right,
Right.
but 2 and 2, like, you know, if we're stuck up on our feelings this much, but then we also, I don't know, man. It just adds to the, like, we feel like a friend group more than we feel like a fucking gang. I mean, like, there's no love lost between me and Preacher, but I'm still gonna have his back when he gets shot. I heard he got kidnapped by the Besties, and I was one of the first people saying we should go fucking kidnap one of them or smoke them. I don't fucking get along with that guy. I don't like him. But I'm still gonna have his fucking back. Is that the point of this shit?
Yeah. I don't know. It's also fucking just coming to the block and then, like, saying what you said. Someone overheard it, and then now it's an issue, right?
Okay.
I don't know. It's just comments like that just need to be cut out, right?
I mean, I'll say to you what I told Ray. I'll say to you what I told Marlo. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say to people like Mac and Kiwi that I'm comfortable with, and if somebody overhears that, that's on them. I'm not gonna change that. Like, I'm not gonna change. I already don't do things that I want to do because of this fucking gang. I'm not gonna change how I joke around with people that I joke around with because I might hurt somebody's feelings that's listening. By all means, Wolfie isn't comfortable with the janitor shit. Understood. I wish he would have said something in the moment. He didn't. I you know, like, look, I won't fuck with him like that anymore. I won't, you know, I won't poke at him. I won't, you know, I won't hurt his feelings. I'll even go down there and have a conversation with him if he wants a conversation. But, like, I'm not gonna change how I fuck with people that I fuck with because somebody else might overhear it and have their feelings hurt.
Well, that makes sense when you say it. You are also saying this is a dog shit gang. That's the issue.
You're talking about right now, today, when I pulled up on the block.
Yeah. That's
when
still
I was
an
talking
issue.
to Marlo, explaining shit. Yes.
So, I mean, what were you explaining? Like, what's the context?
Take it up with Marlo. He's your command, though. Me and him
I'm
had a long
asking you, though.
conversation about it. Okay, but he's your command. Go have a conversation with him. It's a long conversation, man. I got pissed off with Ray over the phone. I said I'm done with this shit. I got heated. I was gonna go do some other shit, blow off some steam. Marlo said, let's talk. And we had like an hour-long talk. You could see how somebody can interpret these problems, albeit separate, that we cared about perceptions more than we cared about actual reality. I mean, you're essentially telling me, hey, don't fuck around with Mac and Kiwi when somebody might overhear you because they might perceive it a certain type of fucking way.
But you can see how we're seeing it as command, right?
Okay, so then have a conversation with me.
That's what this
Here
is,
it
right?
is, right?
And then I ask you, like, what's the context? And you say, bring it up with Marlo.
Hey, he's your command. I already handled this with him. I mean, I've brought up issues with Marlo several times. Do you know that?
Yeah, he mentioned a couple of things. Yeah.
I've done this for the last 2 weeks, whenever we first had some of these meetings. I said that introducing a new role because you don't have the balls to demote people that aren't doing their job is stupid. And I hope that's not what it is. And I'll give it time to resolve it. But if that's truly what it is, that's a pretty big fucking red flag for me.
Yeah, and then we said we're going to work on it. And then I feel like this week has been pretty solid with the command, no? At least your experience when you are awake. between freaking Alex.
I've not seen Lance this entire week.
I wouldn't know about Lance, but other than Lance, like everyone else has stepped up, correct? Even Marlo today was having conversations with you.
Marlo's always had conversations with me. But I've never had a problem with Marlo. Marlo even told me, I have no clue what's happening down there. Marlo even told me, he said he personally feels like he doesn't do enough. And I said, if you feel that way, I mean, maybe there's more that you should do in our role. I said, maybe you should be figuring out how to get us out of fucking debt as a gang, Mr. Treasurer. I said it a little bit less jokey fashion.
I don't know. Overall, we just need to fix our gang culture, whether that is, you know, how we interact with each other within the gang.
Can I ask you something?
You know?
Did you say to Mac at any point that if people don't step up in the next week or so, you guys are going to demote people?
Yeah. So that was before the war.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the problem with that statement is there was also a war, and that's kind of fucks it a bit too. I mean, Lance was there for the war, right, as well. So
was he?
Yeah, he was there for a couple of fights.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like I said, my biggest problem with that whole situation, besides how you guys conveyed that role, is it felt like a band-aid rather than addressing the real problem.
Yeah, I agree. That was stated, and then I blew up on Mac about it because we said we're gonna look into it and fix it, and then he brought it up, and then Mac pulled me to the side afterwards and saying, "Why do you hate me?" I'm just like, "I don't hate you. I just you were."
What a pussy.
He was saying things, and then I said we're gonna fix it, and he just kept on bringing it up. So obviously, I'm gonna like get pissed off and yell at him. But I don't know. I feel everyone else has 100% stepped up. Lance is a different question. I mean, like, look, I haven't been around the past few days to see if he has.
I'm gonna make it clear, and I'm gonna keep this a buck. I don't have a problem with Lance as a person. I just don't really see why he's command.
But I was one of the advocates.
I think he's great vibes to have around. I fuck with him heavy, but like, I just don't see it.
Trust me, when we were in Hades, I was a big advocate to remove him as command. So
I just feel like, to me, it would have made way more sense if you guys got rid of like people like Lance, for example, and then just bumped Wolfie or people, whoever you wanted as your choice, up to command.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like making like a new role that isn't really command, but isn't also high. It just felt like such a band-aid.
Yeah, and then I think McGregor brought up it just should be Ray and I at the top, and then you know, no one else. And then I think Ray and I kind of agreed we kind of need people in that positions for when we're not around.
I can see both sides on that. Which
was kind of evident with the Besties war because we went around early, and then Sky and Alex went to Besties and resolved the war because Johnny wasn't around. It was already like... Yeah, but Johnny wasn't coming around to, you know, end it. You know, whether he didn't want to do the whole ring thing, which is whatever, he still didn't come around to negotiate a different ending, right?
I mean, I don't really think that's on him, though, no?
He still could have worked.
Somebody reach out to him?
Yeah, he was very much aware. Well, it's the weekend, so it can give it some leeway.
I'll keep it a buck, and you can have a problem with me for this. You can disagree. But if somebody ordered me to kiss another gang's ring, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like he should still have come around to.
I can agree with that point.
Whether it's trying to get an ending through money or however Sky did it, then yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah, gang culture needs to be fixed overall, whether it's internally between people in the gang / also externally, how we treat other gangs. I do agree. It's just the environment needs to be fixed because it's kind of slipped a little bit. Whether it's being Ray not being around or I not being around, or just people just not being together all in for the gang, especially with the personal jump conversations kind of created a divide. I agree as well. It's just, yeah. Everyone needs to be on the same page again, like we were at the start.
Sure. Yeah. I just think it's one of those things, though, that like you're gonna have a honeymoon phase of a game starting, and that's inevitably going to go away. And I think also sitting here acting like I mean, this wasn't exactly the vision that was originally agreed on either. I mean, me and Marlo have had this conversation, but I mean, he's famous for saying, you know, if this just turns into just a basic street gang, then I'm leaving. You know, that was his big thing in the beginning. And it does feel like, you know, like I said, to me, it doesn't even feel like a gang sometimes. It feels like a group of friends. Honestly, it feels like two groups of friends.
I mean, he was more saying it in the sense of like the Savetnik and whatnot. But I think
he's talking to, me and him have talked about it.
Yeah. I think Ray and I did have an issue when Savetnik did vote on something, and then even like the first meeting we ever had, we voted on something, and then everyone backtracked it to want to vote on it again. I think it was like the minion conversation, even though
I agree.
Cooked as it was,
shouldn't have been revoted.
Yeah, as cooked as it was, I still think it shouldn't have been revoted. And then I guess the whole command voting and everything and people going back on it, I do see how people like kind of disagree with it because they didn't, you know, it was portrayed, as you said, it was portrayed poorly to you guys, what it was.
I think the reality is if it was supposed to be a full-on discussion and a full-on vote, it should have been portrayed as, do you think we need this role?
Yeah.
We could vote on it. Okay, the role passed. Let's vote on who we think fits in it. Okay, this person fits. Do we need a second one? Or just picking the people and saying it's done? I feel like it was like a weird mix of not being portrayed correctly, as well as like not really like a vote. It was more so like command had a name or two and that was it. Like it was a weird mix.
Yeah. By the way, I hope you know, when Ray called Louis to do the whole Johnny thing, McGregor was laughing the entire time about it, and then you woke up and said it wasn't gangster, and then Mac did a 180.
Oh, look, I mean, look, he's my second biggest fan, man.
And on God.
Kiwi's my number one.
Is there any other? Do you have any issues or?
I mean, I just feel like you. I feel like not even just you, but like I guess the collective you as like a group. I feel like you need to separate what Max says from what I say.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, yes, we have very similar opinions. I won't lie, but there are definitely situations that I disagree with him on. Like, I'll give you an example. That bank truck, he made it out to me like it. I woke up at the hospital. He made it out to me like it was the worst thing that had ever happened in the history of the universe. It was bad, and I think it was ratty. But do I really care? Not really. I was more pressed at them shooting Kem, which I never really got the story on that. And I tried to call Kem about it, and he didn't answer. And I said, "Are you okay?" He said, "I'm leaving town."
Yes.
Like a fucking idiot. But that's like the line for me, though. Like, as a person, I'm never gonna change that. Like, if a gang shoots one of our own, I don't give a fuck who it is. I wholeheartedly think that we need to stand our ground. I get it. There could have been a mix-up, possibly. I don't even know. But at the end of the day, like, that's my boy, and he just got shot. Like, of course I'm gonna feel a certain type of way about it.
Yeah.
Especially with zero context. I mean, I'm sure for you, if you didn't have any context and you heard that like Raymond got shot, you'd be on smoke too.
I mean, I did have context. Cam called me.
No, I'm saying I didn't have context,
Yeah.
right? So I'm saying if you were in my shoes with zero context and you heard Raymond got shot, you'd be on smoke, right? That's your boy. Like, why wouldn't you be? I'd expect you to be. You'd be ready to go blast.
Did you try to do something today or something? Or like, what's the context?
No, I'm giving you my perspective on the situation, right? Like, I'm just saying. Mac was really pressed about that bank truck. I was more pressed about the Chem situation.
I think Mac was more pressed about his car being stolen, but yeah. Feel like all that's needed to be said has been said. No?